Long ago in the ancient city of Rome, a boy named Marcus Aurelius Verus was born into a world of privilege and power. But unlike most children of noble birth, young Marcus was curious about the world beyond his golden walls. Even as a child, he displayed a quiet wisdom and deep thoughtfulness that set him apart. His grandfather, who raised him after his father's early death, often found Marcus sitting under the olive trees, lost in contemplation. One day, while exploring the bustling markets of Rome, Marcus's attention was drawn to an elderly man selling worn scrolls. The man had an air of mystery about him, his robes tattered, but his eyes sharp with intelligence. "Young master," the man called out, "are you searching for knowledge or merely passing the time?" Intrigued, Marcus replied, "I seek wisdom that lasts beyond this lifetime." The old man's eyes sparkled as he handed Marcus a scroll. "This contains teachings from the Stoics. It speaks of finding peace within, no matter the chaos outside." Marcus thanked him and hurried home, unrolling the scroll under the shade of his favorite tree. As he read the words of Epictetus and Seneca, something awakened within him, a yearning to understand the nature of life, virtue, and the human soul. From that day on, Marcus became a devoted student of philosophy. He sought out the greatest teachers in Rome, including Junius Rusticus, who taught him the power of reason and self-control. Under Rusticus's guidance, Marcus learned that true strength came not from wealth or power, but from mastering one's mind and emotions. Yet destiny had grander plans for Marcus. Emperor Hadrian noticed his wisdom and discipline even as a boy, and called him Verissimus, meaning most truthful. Hadrian saw in Marcus the potential for greatness and arranged for him to be adopted by his successor, Antoninus Pius, paving the way for Marcus to one day become emperor. Years passed, and Marcus grew into a young man of extraordinary intellect and humility. Though surrounded by luxury, he lived simply, practicing the Stoic virtues of self-restraint and moderation. He wore plain clothes, slept on a hard bed, and ate modest meals, refusing to indulge in excess. His friends often asked why he denied himself the pleasures of his status, to which he replied, "It is not what we have, but what we do with it that defines us." When Antoninus Pius became emperor, Marcus stood by his side, learning the art of governance. He witnessed firsthand the challenges of leadership, political intrigue, rebellion, and the weight of responsibility. But under his adoptive father's wise rule, Rome flourished in peace and prosperity. Antoninus taught Marcus the value of patience, justice, and mercy, lessons that would shape his reign in the years to come. After 2 decades of stability, Antoninus Pius passed away, and Marcus Aurelius ascended to the throne. Unlike his predecessors, Marcus chose to share power with his adoptive brother, Lucius Verus, honoring his father's wish for unity. Together they faced the challenges of ruling the vast Roman Empire, including wars in the east and a devastating plague that swept through the land. During these troubled times, Marcus turned to philosophy for strength. Each night he would retreat to his chamber, writing his reflections on duty, virtue, and the human condition. These private thoughts, never meant for public eyes, would later become known as Meditations, one of the greatest works of Stoic philosophy. But the most defining chapter of his life came during the Marcomannic Wars. The northern tribes threatened Rome's borders, and Marcus led his legions to the harsh frontiers of the Danube. The winters were brutal, and morale was low as disease and hunger ravaged his troops. Yet, even in the face of despair, Marcus remained calm and resolute, drawing strength from his Stoic teachings. One fateful night, the enemy launched a surprise attack surrounding the Roman camp. Panic spread among the soldiers, and defeat seemed inevitable. But Marcus stood before them, his presence radiating calm authority. He spoke not of victory or glory, but of courage, duty, and the power of the human spirit to rise above fear. "The obstacle is the way," he said, echoing the teachings of Epictetus. "Adversity is our greatest teacher." His words rekindled their fighting spirit, and they charged into battle with newfound courage, turning the tide of war. After the hard-won victory, Marcus did not celebrate but instead mourned the loss of life, even among his enemies. To him, all men were brothers, bound by the same humanity. Years of war took their toll on Marcus's health, but his spirit remained unbroken. As he grew weaker, he called his son Commodus to his side, hoping to pass on his wisdom. But Commodus did not share his father's virtues, craving power and luxury instead. With a heavy heart, Marcus realized that not all lessons could be taught, and not all legacies could be controlled. Under